Oh yeah. And I wonder, like, well, how lax are the rules? They can have swords and like pets in here. Can someone just bring their dog?
You wouldn't want to have like a German Shepherd there, would you?
No.
Or an Akita, as it is Japan. So the boys get angry at Coda and they tell him that having a rabbit is cheating. Midoriya notices that everyone is suddenly getting competitive. And then we cut to Kaminari, Ojiro, Tokiyami, and Ayama, all the ones that have their rooms slightly dissed, and they're looking unhappy. Mineta then chimes in, saying that it seems very unfair that if they're doing a competition trying to find out who has the best interior decoration sense, that they're just looking at the boys when really they should be looking at the girls as well. And as he says this, we get lightning flash in the background. Hoshido then she pretty quickly agrees with Jiro looking taken aback in the background. We then cut quickly to the ones who are uninterested and don't care, which is Kirishima, Sato, Shoji, and Todoroki, who are either sort of playing with their fingers, picking their nose, or looking at their phone. We see Bakugo also, he's already asleep. And Midoriya, who is thinking, is this really okay? Can we see the girls' rooms? He's so shocked. I think there's some electricity in the background. And then we cut to the credits, and that is the end of chapter 98. And when we start again in the second half of the episode, that's the start of chapter 99.
Here we learn that Tsuyu likes Jello and Sato likes cake. Mina smirks because if only he had wanted it, he would have been made fun of, but everyone bandwagoned on top, so they wouldn't be embarrassed. He does some creepy drool, saying it's a natural thing of snooping in girls' rooms, and he has this gross drool fountain, which I want to count as this the fourth creepy thing he's done.
I was going to say that, yep, this is the fourth creepy moment.
Because it's just so weird. And Todoroki looks at his fingers, thinking he's sleepy. And the fourth floor is Bakugo, Kirishima, and Shoji. And we learn...
Oh, sorry, did you notice that when they were walking, Ashido, she looks like she's marching. She's so excited about it. She really is the energy, because her arms are just propelling her forwards as she goes.
I didn't notice. That's cute. And they wonder where Bakugo is, and Kirishima knows that Bakugo went to bed, says it was lame, and Kirishima's also tired, he doesn't care, so they decide to do his room next, and he doesn't think the girls will get this manliness.
The girls are so excited. They run to his room, just air fist bumping as they go, like, yeah, Kirishima's room.
Yay. Clocks with muscular arms. I think he has a Crimson Riot poster. And so people online point out he has like a Luke Skywalker poster on the back wall, and there's a Freddie Mercury poster on the side. And they're kind of mean, and they say the room ranks second for rooms that you would least want your boyfriend to have. And I'm like, who is the top one right now? Is the top one Tokoyami?
See, I thought it was Aoyama because it's Hagakure that says that. And when she left Aoyama's room, she was the one who said, oh, as I expected, it falls right in with my hypothesis. So I think maybe it's Aoyama. And we don't see her in Tokiyami's room either. But I could be wrong. But it's such a mean thing to say to his face. Oh,
I know. It's a nice. I like his room. It's decent. I like his flame patterns. It's a bit like stereotypically manly, maybe. But Ochiko is excited to like it's hot and stuffy. Just stuffy is a weird line.
He takes it as I think he takes it as a compliment. But you're right. I don't know if it is a compliment.
It might just be weird translation, maybe. But I don't know.
It's so hot and stuffy, yeah. See, even when she says that, we see a really quick flash in the background of Kaminari, who looks really hot and is sort of fanning himself with a shirt. Tokiyami looks dismayed, he's got his head in his hands. And Ojiro, it looks like there's some sweat coming down his face. It's a really quick panel. But I just love Tokiyami with his head in his face, like, oh god, it's so hot in here.
Maybe Kirishima doesn't believe in air conditioning. Men don't need air conditioning, so he just turns it off.
I wonder if there's the fitness trend of when people they do it, especially in hot yoga, where you work out and you wear the extra hot layers and things, because he's got the punching bag in there and he's got his weights. So I wonder if it's a fitness thing to have the heat there, like, oh, I can use so much sweat, I'll bulk up and shred at the same time.
Probably. I think, does he have weights in his room? Let's check.
Yeah, it's more obvious in the manga, but I double-checked with the anime and there are some weights, but you can see them just behind his body.
Yeah, weights, and he has a punching bag. And he's not finished unpacking.
Yes, I wrote that as well. He lied when he came down and Kamina asked him if he finished packing. He's not finished packing.
And he has some flames on his desk, and he has like a little figure of a robot. Are you a Gundam fan, Kirishima? I like the wave.
He's in cahoots with Ida.
Oh. He's the one puppeting Ida. They're both the traitor. Okay, and next is Shoji's room. And I just like that Shoji talks with his arm things I always forget. And his room is just a desk and like blankets and a curtain, and that's it. That is so weird. But it's Todoroki says, didn't know you were a minimalist, and he just doesn't like having a lot of things. And Mineta starts looking for porn.
Even so, his desk is a floor desk, and Shoji's 6'2". That's so bad for his back, bending down all the time.
I think he would be again. He'd be sitting down, and I guess he would like lean down. It's weird. Maybe he lies down completely and writes.
It's bad for his health. He needs to see someone from occupational health therapy because he's going to get all sorts of back and shoulder ache when he's older if he keeps doing this.
Proper body safety.
Yes. I like it that in the anime, Mineta's actually going through the different futons of his bed. In the manga, he's just telling him, but here, nope, he's rifling through for some sort of pervert signs. Leave it alone, Mineta.
I know. And Zero is next. I thought his room was kind of bohemian, but the girls are saying it's very Asian, according to them. And he has a hammock and so many patterns. His room is easily the most stylish. I love it. Asui is very into it. And then Zero says something kind of weird. He says, always expect the unexpected from me. And it's like, traitor. And his elbows look cool. And next is Todoroki. Momo thinks he is the most capable student in the class. Ashido thinks he's the hottest. And Hagagura thinks that he is aloof, and there's hearts in the background. So everyone at least kind of has a crush on Todoroki. Same. And Todoroki says, hurry up, I'm sleepy. It's a very Japanese-style room. They wonder if it was built differently. And he can't relax without being on tatami flooring.
Yeah, so a tatami flooring is basically a mat that's made out of rice straw, but it's very expensive to have on the bottom. So even when people come out, if you're wearing slippers in the house rather than your normal shoes, you can't even wear slippers on it because it's so delicate and expensive. So that's what a tatami flooring is.
They ask, like, how'd you change it in one day? And he's like, I worked hard. And he doesn't have a bed, but I guess, like, I looked it up in that kind of flooring, it's kind of comfy, so he basically just, like, put a futon on it. So he probably has a futon in a drawer or something. He can just pull it out when he wants to go to bed.
Yeah. But he's changed everything. He's changed the walls. He's changed the floor. He's changed the window. He's put those shojis in front.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk about the shoji part? Or?
Oh, please do.
Okay. So for the shoji part, shoji's name is from a line in Japanese that basically translates into walls have ears, doors have eyes, or kabi ni mimi ari, shoji ni miari. And the shoji in that part is the kind of like door, like sliding door, which they're very thin, so it's easy to eavesdrop through them. So the idea is kind of like anybody can listen in. And since he can make ears anywhere on his body, he can like snoop easier. So that's why he has a shoji in his room.
So everyone looks very shocked by this, except for Kaminari and Meta, who are very angry. They get angry a lot.
Anyone's rooms are better than theirs. They're like, what the hell? And next is Sato. He has a very yellow room. He has an oven. He's finished unpacking really quick, so he made chiffon cake. There's a cool shot from within the oven, because usually all the shots of the different rooms have been very static, so I guess they kind of played around trying to do cool different stuff. He opens it. He wants to share with everybody, which is so nice. Like both him and Kirishima are like very open and like wanting to share stuff with the class.
Kirishima really shines in this episode because even when they're walking into the room and Sato says, "Oh, it's just a boring room," Kirishima's like, "Oh, don't worry, buddy. Like everyone's room is boring compared to Todoroki's room."
Yeah. The girls love the cake. Momo wants him to bake something for when she has tea next time, and Sato blushes. And he wants to keep which is really cute. And he just makes it for training because for his quirk, buying sweets can be expensive. Anything you want to say about his room?
We didn't see a one clear shot panel of it, which was just different to anyone else. It doesn't really mean anything, but.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, he was very sweet when he was leaving and he was upset. He was like, oh, but pretty boys do things differently.
I like him.
Don't worry, Sato, you're pretty too.
Yes, he doesn't get to shine that much because honestly, there's like watching this, you kind of realize like there are so many of these kids, so it's hard to like focus on all of them. So I understand Horikoshi, even though I want to see more of the other guys, but it's okay.
20 is quite a lot of main characters quite a lot of characters to choose for a class, especially when there's then 20 of class B as well.
And we go to Jiro's room. She has a deep dope wall matching her shirt she wore earlier. She has a red and black checkered ceiling and a white and black checkered floor. It's covered in musical speakers, drum set, keyboard. There's 3 guitars. Kaminari says she has more instruments than even he thought, and Hagagura calls her a rocking girl. And then Kaminari's like, it's not girly at all. And Aoyama, being I don't know, I would say a bitch, because he's like, not ladylike at all, like the pose he does for it too, he's like deliberately kind of being like the mean girl here, I guess mean girl, that's what I mean. And Jiro just attacks them with her earlobes and blasts them, which is like, yes, they deserve it.
With Kirishima and Midoriya and Ojiro just looking in terror while she's doing it.
Fear her.
She's got a lot of earphones in her room. Why?
I guess maybe it's something that if she wants to listen to different things or something, or maybe some of them are higher quality than her earphones. That like some stuff have better bass and stuff, so maybe her earphones don't have good bass or something.
Yeah, she could be maybe a collector of musical instruments. Or I guess because both her parents work in the industry, maybe she just sort of gets them free. But she's got her earphone jack, and yet she's got all those earphones.
Yep. Next is Hagagura's room. Her room is very stereotypically girly. It's very pink, lots of stuffies. Mineta says plus ultra as he looks for underwear, and Mineta says plus ultra as he looks for underwear, and Hagagura yells at him. Her room's just kind of girly, and it's not super interesting. Does she have okay, I need to check. Does she have a mirror in her room? Just because it'd be funny, because she like...
Yeah, I'm not sure, but when she goes in and she says in third person, next is me, Hagakure, and then she opens the door, there's another very strange fan service moment. Did you notice the weird boob bounce?
Oh, yeah!
It sort of zooms in on her chest and she has a weird boob bounce and there's all this glitter in the background before when she's like opening the door and before we see anything. Why?
I guess because, like, they're just like, she doesn't have a face, so we need to put some boob action in there.
I just thought it was unnecessary, but hey.
Next is Ashido. Her room is also very pink, but also black. It has a lot of funky patterns. And Ashido, she has a lot of patterns in her stuff. Oh, she has one stuffed animal. I love stuffed animals. I have, like, one, like, turtle pillow. So whenever I see stuffies, it makes me happy.
Yeah, both her and Hagakure both had a lot of stuffed animals.
Yeah. And, yeah. Next is Ochiko. Her room, she has a TV, a fan, and a very cute cactus. She says it's not very interesting. And she has a poster of constellations above her bed, kind of fitting with her gravity quirk. So I guess, like, now she could say, if she touches somebody, she's like, go to Orion, bitch!
She is kind of right. Out of all the girls, it is the most boring one.
Yeah, but, like, all the other girls' rooms are very much, I guess we're going to see more later of, like, Momo and stuff. But I like her rooms the most normal, because, like, Hagagura's room is a bit too, like, pink for me. Ashido's is nice, but it's a bit, like, all those patterns. I don't know, I really like cacti, so I like the cactus a lot.
Ashido's room is very loud, but I guess also Uraka's not going to have very much money to buy a lot of things. So it makes it more sense that she hasn't got as much stuff in there, maybe.
And Ojiro feels dirty looking at so many normal girl rooms. And Tokuyami says, a forbidden garden. And then we can see that Sierra has taped up Mineta after the underwear incident. And he's just a ball on a string.
Yes, because that wasn't in the manga, so I wasn't sure what it was. And then I looked at the size and was like, oh, they've restricted him.
It wasn't the manga. It was like a single panel in the manga as well.
Oh, I must have missed that bit then.
But I wish the anime had spent a bit more time in it. Like I wish we could have had a scene where he like wrapped him up or something, or even like had that like the tape lump like move or something, just because I think they could have played around with that and had fun, but they didn't do anything.
No, they could have cut out the weird boob bounce, and they could have cut out the strange belly shot, and they could have just put a few seconds of that.
Because it kind of let the joke land a bit, but it would have been like, it would have helped it just a little bit. They spent like a few seconds longer on it. I think you're right. Suyu isn't there. I just love, they call her Su-chan. It's very cute. Ochiko says she wasn't feeling well, and she peeks out at the door at them. And I remember like reading it in the manga, it felt like a lot more ominous. Here it's like just a bit weird. And next is Momo's room. What's her name? Okay, I'm gonna call her Momo. Momo is just...
Yeah, it's easier than Yaozaru. I don't even know, I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Yaozaru.
Yaozaru. Yeah, sorry, Momo. Yeah, I just don't have her. Yeah, Momo's room is just a bed and a desk and a bookcase. She miscalculated and can't fit it all. It's very cramped. She didn't think the rooms would be so small, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's a rich girl, all right."
She's even got a feathered fountain pen on her desk. Those things are expensive.
Oh yeah, yes. And the first room King competition begins minus Tsu and Bakugo, and they don't mention Mineta at all because he doesn't deserve it. We get dramatic shots of them all, and then there's just Aoyama being like,
There's a weird underboob shot again of Ishido. Why are they putting these weird fan service bits in? We don't need a few seconds of underboob Ishido shots, but other than the strange fan service bits, the episode is really good, and I don't hate them, but they're just...
You could easily do better jokes. You could do jokes in other places or improve stuff instead of doing weird boob shots. But anyways, yay anime. Sato won with 5 votes. The girls all voted for him because of Cake. I want to know like who came second. Like I want to know, did Zero get all the other votes?
Probably him or Todoroki, wouldn't it? But then even as the girls are thinking about the cake, they're all drooling. So Mineta drools about perverted reason, and they're all drooling about Cake.
I think it's good to drool. I want Cake out. It's okay to drool about Cake. And the guys are kind of giving him shit, saying aspiring heroes shouldn't use bribery, and they kind of whack him. And he's super happy, and Sato is super happy, which is so cute. He doesn't even win anything, but he's just like, I don't know, it's nice to be appreciated.
And also, it's only Kaminari and Mineta that are angry, and they've been angry multiple times. They were never going to win. I don't know what they were thinking.
And Todoroki says, is it over? Can I sleep now? And Ida, being the nerd robot that he is, since you had Cake, don't forget to brush your teeth. He does this super fast brush teeth motion, like a nerd. Deku is like, oh, he was waiting till it was over, huh? And which is a lot nicer than Bakugo, who just went straight to bed. But before he can do that, Ochiko asks Todoroki to wait. She asks Deku, Kirishima, Ida, and Yarozo as well, leading them out to talk to Su-chan. She can't help saying everything. Oh, and I guess they kind of walk up and they kind of don't know where they're going at first.
Yeah, and when they see her, you can't see her eyes either. She's just looking down. So they have no idea what's going on.
In the manga, it was almost like, it was like very ominous, like we didn't know, and it was kind of like, what's happening here? Like, is she going to attack them? Especially because she had that weird moment when she peeked out at them. And like, in the manga, we had like weeks in between some of this stuff. So it was especially like ramping it up. But I think it was good they kept it all in one episode, because if it had been like separated over a bunch, it would have dragged on a little too much. So I understand why they did it. And as Su-chan says, she can't help saying everything that comes to mind, but there are times when she doesn't know what to say. She asks if they remember what she said at the hospital. She said and as she said it, it sounds like she's going to cry. And back at the hospital, she said breaking the rules was the same as the villains, so she hardened her heart to say that. And Ochiko puts her arm on her back. Ochiko also said some harsh things. She said that Bakugo wouldn't want to be saved. But they still went, and she was surprised, because she honestly thought she'd stopped them until Eraserhead said something that morning. Because I think we talked a bit about it last week, and you thought that they might not have made it onto the news, and it looks like they really didn't, that like no one knew until they were actually told about it. And she was filled with disappointment and bad feelings. She didn't know what to say, didn't feel like she could have fun with everybody anymore. And I guess it's nice like that after such intensity, and then we get the nice like happiness. But it's nice to remind us that like they just went through a lot of shit, even the ones who didn't go and save Bakugo, and it still like hurts. And not being able to talk to everyone made her super sad, and she starts crying these huge Ghibli tears.
And when Yuraka kind of backs her up, then doesn't she? And she says that everyone feels the same. But I think because Yuraka, when she says this, she looks behind her. So I think, as you said, she said some really harsh things. So she's remembering what she said, and she's ashamed of it as well. But maybe she's not as honest and gutsy as Sue is, and she doesn't want to just come out and say that she's pawning off as, yeah, everyone feels like this, but deep down she's feeling very upset as well.
Yeah, and like she kind of puts on like a very false, like kind of a false positive front. Let's all work hard and laugh together. And she does like a cute arm pose, but she's also upset. Kirishima also cries, saying he's sorry and thanks for telling us. I just love Ida's Su-chan-kun, which is very cute. I wonder how the dub will handle it. Maybe because she likes to be called Sue, but I know she likes to be called Sue, but I know Todoroki still calls her by her last name more. Because it's more like how comfortable you are referring to people. They all promise to never do it again. Kirishima holds the shoulder, and Momo touches her head as she cries. Todoroki also apologizes. Did you want to say something, sorry?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay, nice. Everyone was trying hard to make things normal again. Deku also cries. I love it when characters cry, because it feels very real. And you can see Deku has a huge scar on his arm from the fight with Muscular.
It's really pronounced in this episode, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess it's still fresh, and it's only been a few days, really. Probably been less than a week. But they're going back to their usual lives of making each other better as we aim to be heroes, which I think is a very cute line. We get a pretty shot of the dorms with an over the night sky, and we see a shooting star, and then it goes to the...
So when we see Midoriya, he as a narrator, and he says this, and his actual character is turning around and looking up at the moon, and there's that shooting star. Imagine being one of these other characters, and like Sue's crying her eyes out, and everyone's comforting her, and then he's just sort of standing back, turning around, just looking at the moon.
Oh, Deku, what are you doing? And I guess, like, she doesn't apologize for what she said either. She's standing by it. She just doesn't want to have the awkward feeling of them all kind of, like, being on, what's the phrase? Being on their tiptoes or, like, uneasy around each other? On their toes around each other. I think it's good they kind of got out in the open. Now they can try to keep going and, like, learn to be heroes. And now we want to do the bit where we try to rank the rooms ourselves of which rooms are our favorites.
So at number 5, I put Aoyama. He's my favourite. I love his room. It would be too bright for me, but it's so uplifting. You know, especially in school, if you had a bad day, you haven't done well on your test, which we know he's not a very good student, so usually he doesn't, and you come back to this bright, sparkling room, it's just going to cheer you up. Number 4, I had Coda, because I love rabbits. It's a very cute room, but also rabbits smell. Even if you're changing their litter trays every day, there's going to be some smell there. I had Todoroki as number 3. Number 2 was Tokoyami, because thinking back as a teenager, I was quite emo, very into my heavy metal, wore a lot of black. His room would be one of the closest that resembled mine. And then number 1, I think we've got the same number 1. Number 1 was Sero's room. That hammock, so comfy.
My number 5 is gonna be Sato. I kind of like the color scheme of the green and yellow. He's able to cook there. It's all like very simple. He has like kind of a display case where he can store stuff. It's nice and simple. It's colors I like, and I like food, so he can cook stuff. Yeah, I can cook stuff in that room, let's say. Number 4 is Kirishima. I just love Kirishima in general, so I kind of like the dorkiness of the very, like, red, the, like, very, like, the very manliness idea. I just love the arm clock. Strong time. And number 3 is Ochiko, because her room is, like, pretty plain, but I like the colors again. She has, like, a fan, she has a TV, she has a cactus. I like plants. It's simple, but it has... Yeah. I think she has a laundry hanger or something hanging from the drapes, maybe? Because there's some weird green hanging thing. And I think that's cute. Number 2 is Todoroki, just because his room's really cool. Like, it's very very stylish looking, like very the Japanese style. I like the plants again, like the bamboo. He has some flowers. It's nice. And number one is number one is Zero, just because I really like the colors. It just seems very stylish, very put together. He has a hammock and he has like a little privacy screen, which is kind of cute. He also completely changed his drapes as well, because I guess that's when you pull up more. I think it might be a sliding one. I can't tell. Yep. Nice. But yeah, like everyone else's rooms, like the other girls, some of the like Hagagura and Ashido's rooms, like don't really do anything for me. And poor Momo's room is just like
in our top
doesn't
five.
really get the
Those
chance
are
to
the
be
only
a
ones
room
we had
since
in
it's
common.
mostly bed. Yeah, they're a bit too busy. A bit too busy. I kind of like the more simpler rooms. But like still, even though Cyril's room is also pretty busy, it's simple, but it also has like
cramped.
kind
Yeah,
of
the
a
other
nice
girls'
like
rooms are
reddish tone all the way around.
They're too bright. There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Sue's room would be very green and maybe have like lily pads to it almost. I don't know if she might just have like a pool of water or something. Like I don't know how much like how much she needs to like keep herself wet at all. So I feel like there might be a pool even in her room, just like a very tiny one, but maybe not because it's not very big of a room. And I feel like Bakugo. Oh no, did you? I think you kind of said what you thought her room would look like, or did you want to go into it more?
Yeah, I was thinking it could have like some sort of swamp theme, but then I was like, how do you have a swamp room? How do you have a swamp themed room?
Yeah. Bakugo would have like a lot of secret stuff, and I feel like he would also have a lot of flames, and maybe a bit kind of like Kirishima's room, in having it like flames, and maybe even a bit like Tokoyami with some of the emo stuff. So you probably have like at least a few skull posters up since he wears that skull shirt a lot.
I just feel like there'll be a lot of sneaky All Might stuff in there that he's hiding.
No, it's black. You can hide stuff. And he's listening to music on headphones, so maybe he'll have like a little bit of some music stuff in there, maybe. But I definitely expect there's at least a few All Might posters in there. I think it'll be like a mishmash of everything. I hope eventually they'll do a second Room King competition, and we'll get to see some of the different stuff. And it kind of makes me wonder if in the second year they might switch up the classes a bit. Because I know, like, when I went in, this is for college though, that we hear in separate sections, and it still stayed mostly separate, but there'd be a bit of crossover. So it'd be kind of interesting if, like, for some of the students that we don't see that much of, maybe they would get downgraded, if that feels kind of bad to say, put into class 1B.
Yeah, they could do. We, in uni, obviously, I did nursing, so we only had one. We had everyone was in the same thing. We only did the one subject. And in school, you switched up your classes depending on how intelligent you are and which grade class you'd be in. But for your house and your form room, everyone stayed the same. Because when we had sports days, it would be like your house versus other people's house, just like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would change the form rooms up. But there's some fan theories that the school might not be going in the second and third year.
No.
Because it's had so much drama.
Yeah.
That they'll have to shut it down. But
I know some people want Shinso to like be transferred into their class instead of Mideta.
I really want Shinso to be transferred.
It would be nice. I don't think they'll close the school unless like a teacher dies or something, or a student dies. I hope none of the students die. That's what I wonder. I think the traitor, if they do something bad enough, like something goes so wrong, it might close the school. But that depends like how long My Hero Academia is going to go for. Like, I hope we'll get to see their second year. It'd be kind of sad. But, like, they've crammed so much in that their first year has been very busy.
I think it has to go to at least the third year, because we know from the narrator is Midoriya, and he says this is the story of how I became the number one hero. And all heroes seem to become heroes at 18 when they graduate. So now we're briefly going to talk about the anime in response to the manga that we already know about. So if you're an anime only viewer, Switch off now, otherwise you will be spoiled. So now I'm assuming they've gone. So the first note that I had was just talking about right at the very start of the episode where Izuku's promising that his mum, that he won't make any trouble. But then when he fights Gentoo and Labrava, he's really disregarding that, and it's only for a school festival.
But he doesn't get hurt then, though. I think he's more ignoring his mom during Overhaul when he really does risk a lot, but then he does have Eri kind of as the undo button.
Yeah, but then even both of the times when he's fighting these enemies, he doesn't know their capabilities and how harmed that he'll get, but he does it anyway.
Yeah. I think at least the one change he has done is now he has kick style, so that's kind of his consideration for his mom and being able to use his own arms, is to kind of use the kick stuff more. And I think we're about to get to that in the anime, maybe?
Yeah, he's put a small consideration in place.
Yeah, because he can't stop fighting completely, because he's going to be a hero, but at least he hasn't... Has he gotten any really major injuries that weren't undone by Eri?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so he's kind of followed that, but he's still definitely living a little too dangerously, especially the school festival thing. It's a school festival.
Yeah, and it's all through luck as well. He's not been injured kind of through luck. I put the Aoyama's room when we go to it over Seven Mirrors is kind of at odds with what we know about him being very insecure. So even to himself in privacy, he's trying and be someone bigger than what he actually feels he is.
I guess trying to psych himself up a bit to kind of get that confidence.
Yeah. If I believe it, everyone will.
Yeah, exactly. You got to convince yourself first.
What do you think about Kirishima's room? You had some thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, Kirishima's room I think it's actually more when he's in Tokoyami's room. He points out that he had a similar keychain in middle school, and it kind of hints at his flashback of kind of being having black hair originally and being a bit more really unsure about himself, and then kind of trying to put on the confident front, maybe a bit like Aoyama is too. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Aoyama had a similar backstory, that he wasn't that flashy of a kid when he wasn't that. Maybe Aoyama has a similar backstory that he wasn't that flashy when he was a kid, but then he got really flashy when he went into high school. So maybe that'd be kind of cool if we got to see Aoyami flashback, because we still haven't yet. I want to see Aoyami the origin, because that would be really cool. Was Kirishima's flashback called Kirishima the Origin?
I think it might have been, but we'd need to double check. I wonder if he had some more emo-y stuff maybe in the box.
Probably. Oh, maybe, true! He had to be very selective of what he brought. And I guess now, hopefully, as he gets more comfortable with the class, maybe he can bring out some of that stuff, because that is still him. It's not bad, so maybe he can just bond with Tokoyami over it.
Did you think that Sero might be the traitor?
Maybe a little bit, just because he's very friendly with everybody, and he even has that line of the unexpectedness, and I would say maybe it's because for all of them, it feels like none of them could be the traitor, but Sero or Hagagura or Kaminari are all possible traitors for me.
It's not enough to label him as a traitor, but especially after having Nezu talk about there being a traitor, everyone's on edge and looking for signs.
It could be anybody. I think whoever it is, we're all going to be really shocked. And I'm just wondering about the degree of the traitor. Are they very much on the villain's side, or are they only giving little bits, and now that they didn't realize how big of a deal it was going to be giving the training camp location?
Yeah, or maybe they're doing it accidentally or something. They don't realise that they could be friends with one of the members and not realise who they actually are.
Mm-hmm. Or they had something placed on them, a tracker at some point by somebody. So maybe they're not even the traitor, because we actually don't know. But then, someone did let the villains in. So this person has also done other stuff before. Let the villains in back. Or no, sorry, they let the press in right at the start of school.
I kind of want one of the 1A students to be a villain, so that then they leave and Shinso can come in.
Maybe, and I feel like it might be one of the characters we see less of, because if it was Ida or Ochigo, it would be world-shattering.
It wouldn't really make as much sense.
It wouldn't make sense. Ochiko, I could almost see it, maybe if they offered her a lot of money to set her family for life, and just have her be like, we'll only ask you to do like really small stuff, maybe. But even then, it's a stretch. She seems too nice of a girl.
Just little crimes.
But if she turned and like did an evil smile and it was an act all along, I'd be like, damn you. But I honestly, like, all of them, I have the motive, like, I don't think it's quite them, just because they all seem, like, nice, but that's the whole point of the heel turn, when anything could happen.
With Yasra mentioning her tea again, because she mentioned it when they were doing when they were practicing for the exam, she mentioned which sort of tea would they like at her house, and she mentions tea again. I wonder if Horikoshi was setting up Gentle, even right at the start. So I'm going to have a character that really loves tea, and there's going to be this long spiel about how he breaks in, and it's going to revolve around this tea that he loves. Someone else needs to love tea. Who will it be?
Or maybe I guess he's trying to like flesh out Yarozo a bit, and kind of like, oh, I'll put the tea thing in, and then when he thought of Gentle, he's like, okay, I can have him like tea, and then I can kind of have that tying in moment. So then Deku can be like, oh, you said an expensive tea and you're the YouTube guy, so you're going to attack UA. That's a big thing to do. So maybe it's a mix of both. Because he probably plans far ahead.
It is a good way to flesh out Yarozo a little bit, because he obviously doesn't want to... He's been quite careful with not mentioning any of her hero family at all yet. He wants to reveal that later on.
Mm-hmm. So kind of just like, she's a rich girl and kind of having like the tea aspect, like she likes really good tea. Even though she doesn't even say good tea, she just like, I like the idea of her having tea parties with the class.
The only other bit that I had that relates to the manga is I felt a little bit bad for the Kirishima and Ishido shippers when she was saying that she thinks that Todoroki is the most handsome.
Oh yeah, like I kind of want them to, like, it would be cute if they like kind of got together, but alas. But I don't know, you could think multiple people are cute, maybe.
So this is our manga recap. So this is chapter number 189, Why He Gets Back Up. So it starts with, we see Hawks walking next to two defeated white Nomus. He's got his feathers there. He's saying, not so tough. We see some other heroes coming in saying, Hawks, that thing shot out 9 more, so there's still more work to do. 4 behind the station and 3 near the police box. Split up. Let's expand the evacuation zone. I'll rescue those who couldn't get away in time. So I guess the white Nomus... no, that thing that shot out 9 more, we're talking about the black one. For a second I thought it was the white Nomus that was spitting out Born, but no, it's the black ones.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's the black one that's spitting out even more. And then we see a big boom, a big crash in the background as Hawks looks round. He's heard this big boom. He can see a building collapse, but he just looks like he doesn't care at all.
I just want to say one thing. They mentioned a police box, and it kind of makes me think of Doctor Who. I didn't really realize that, like, Japan had that as well. They have, like, call stations. I don't know if Britain really still has that at all. Like, even, like, I know they don't have the old-timey one, but I don't, like, it's interesting.
We don't have police boxes anymore, really, but we do have the telephone boxes, just bright red ones. Mm-hmm. Like a few, just in case. So we see the black Nomu again, and he's standing over the rubble, saying, stronger, heroes, more, more. And then he turns around, he sensed something. We see the helicopter in the top. And they're saying, the news helicopter, and they're saying, that's right, folks. This single villain appeared out of nowhere and is now destroying the city. And while this is unconfirmed, we're hearing about a horde of engineered Nomu as well. Heroes on the scene are either engaged in combat or assisting with evacuation, but Endeavour was the first to act, and now see some ellipses over his body, with blood from his eye, and his arms just beside himself as he lies on the concrete. The scene here is sadly reminiscent of the nightmare 3 months ago. In the background, we've got some more heroes fighting the white Nomu.
Yeah, I like that one of the guys is doing, like, portal punches, where he punches and then you can see his fist actually coming down from a different spot. And then we have a guy who kind of looks like he's kind of doing vines, similar to Kamui Woods, but he's not Kamui Woods. Like, different design, but a little similar.
The white Nomu. He's the one, his arms...
Oh, wait, oh, never mind. That's white Nomu. Oh, that's... Oh, that's the white Nomu's vines. That makes more sense. He's doing like tentacle stuff. I thought it was the guy with all in black. Okay. Okay, it wouldn't make much sense for him to tentacle himself.
All these background heroes, I wonder if Horikoshi's just got a book of notes where he keeps them all and he writes down all their quirks, and he probably does. Just all these background ones that we see just single shots of.
Mm-hmm. I want an info book. I don't know if there is one yet. There probably is. I think there is.
When there is one, we'll share it in our news segment.
Yay! And we see all of a sudden Endeavor, face ablaze. He's blasting himself at the Black Nomu. And we get a cool... The art in this chapter is amazing. He's pulling back his punch. I wonder if he kind of cauterized his wounds with fire. But he rears up to punch, but the Black Nomu dodges his head out of the way. We can kind of see, like, his face, like, shaded. And then when he ducks down, it's where his head actually is. And he hears like a twang. And the Nomu says, slow. And he blasts Endeavor into a building.
Oh, he whips him. It looks like he goes through 3 buildings.
Oh yeah.
Either he goes through 3 buildings, or that's just the extra appendage of the Black Nomu destroying 3 buildings. I'm hoping that's it, and Endeavor's not gone through 3 buildings.
No, I think he put him through 3 buildings.
So on to the next page, we see a small shot of 2 unknown heroes. Well, we've seen them briefly before, but they have no names. And they're saying, did you see that? No way! Where did this thing come from? If we don't evacuate the whole city, and there's the Black Nomu standing with his arms out, just need stronger. He's still raring to go. If we don't evacuate the whole city, it's going to make Kimono look like nothing. We see Endeavor just in the rubble. His pose makes him look like he is still trying to move. We cut back to the two Todoroki siblings in their taxi, and Natsu's saying, what's he thinking? If he can't fight, he should retreat and wait for backup. He knows better than anyone that he'll never be the next All Might. That's why he gave up so quickly and basically went insane, abandoning the kids he didn't care for and driving Mum to breaking point. Give up and run, you. And we see Endeavor. He is still up. He's trying to move. He's vomiting a lot of blood. He's got some real... That's not the blood you see from someone who's just got some oral injuries. He's got some real internal shit going on. His sister reprimands him and says, Natsu, I'm sure he gets that. Brother's unsure. She says, just because you understand something doesn't mean you'll accept it, right? He never gave up. In fact, giving up is what he's worst at.
And I'm kind of iffy about this conversation, because I guess, like, the brother is kind of, like, saying, I think he's almost going to say, give up and run, you coward. Kind of saying, like, he gave up trying to reach All Might, and then he, like, switched to trying to create alternate kids. And I guess, like, his stubbornness is good for this fight, and then it's bad for his kids and literally everyone else.
I think he's still very bitter about everything that happened, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still very bitter. Well, the sister is, like, a bit more understanding, or, like, trying to, like, get it. So we kind of get to... I think, like, the brother is kind of us, or, like, some of the fans, and the sister is trying to, like... Is the author, Horikoshi, trying to, like, say, okay, but what about this? And it's kind of, like, we're not quite at a certain point yet, even though Endeavor definitely is cool this chapter. It doesn't make him a good person.
No, she can sort of see his character more from the bigger point of view rather than just their horrible, abusive point of view.
Yeah. And we see the panic crowds, and someone's yelling out, keep calm, people, please don't push, you'll be fine, just follow evacuation orders. People are crying and screaming. Let me in! Someone is just, like, breaking into a car. Let me in, don't shove. Out of the way!
Yeah, what's she gonna do? Is she gonna drive over them?
Yeah, like, it doesn't help. I would think they'd be trying to get out of the car, because it's honestly not helpful. And it's a very much a different shot from when the All Might One for All fight was going on. Oh, sorry. I think that's right. I always confuse All for One and One for All. When he was fighting the big bad, everyone was very much calm, All for One, and just watching the fight. But here everyone's just booking it because they don't trust Endeavor to win. And we see High End blast himself to the top, and he's saying, humans, over the humans over there. I sound like an old man there for a bit. I said, move it, someone's yelling in the crowd. There's a kid crying, and there's a hero yelling out, everyone please calm down, you're gonna be just fine, and more people screaming, and we get the reporter who's like all being pushed around. She's saying, without a symbol, this is a society without a symbol of peace. And we cut to the students now. They're panicking, how terrible. And everyone else, and we see Tokoyami and Kaminari and Ochiko and Sue are all looking at the TV. But Momo, Deku, Kirishima are looking at Tokoyami.
I think Bakugo is looking at him as well, isn't he? His face looks a little bit turned.
Yep, I think so. And they said we just tuned in and saw Endeavor. And you were right. You were right. Eraserhead is going to Shoto, not to Endeavor. And he says, Todoroki, you already saw? And Todoroki says, you gotta be kidding me. And I wonder, was Eraserhead just gonna, like, turn off the TV and be like, don't watch... Was he gonna try to hide it from him? Or was he gonna just, like, watch him to make... what was his plan here? To hide it from him completely?
I wonder if he was worried that he would see what's going on and run off.
Mm-hmm.
Bear in mind that Todoroki was in both... He went both with Stain and also to rescue Bakugo.
True.
So maybe he thought, oh no, Todoroki's going to see this and try and leave.
Yeah. And then they get interrupted by someone yelling on the TV, stop that crap already! Open your eyes before spouting that off on the TV, especially at a time like this. Look!
Those flames are still rising up. You see them, right? Endeavor's alive and fighting. And we see that Endeavor fanboy from a few chapters ago, who was disappointed when Endeavor came to sign his autograph because he liked the cool and the aloof one, the cool aloof version of Endeavor. And he says, so don't give up because the other guy's gone. And his friends saying, give it up already, man, we've got to run. He says, there's still a dude out there risking all for us, can't you see? He's really frantically trying to get everyone's attention. And we see the news again. We come to you again, up in the sky. Ah, here's the jet black villain. Oh, it's heading towards the evacuation site. Ah, but in hot pursuit is... Yes, that's right, it's Endeavor. You can also regenerate. And in Endeavor's mind, we see him thinking, I'm nothing like you, freak. My body gave up a long time ago. Bakanomu again, he's punching forward, he's thrusting at him. I think he misses and just hits the fire, but it's not sure from that panel. But with a big vroom.
I like that High End is like, do you also have multiple quirks? Like, High End's smarter than other Nomu, but I don't think he's quite there, or maybe he's also... just being, like, sarcastic, maybe? I don't know if you can reach sarcasm.
He's underestimating the willpower.
Yeah, and we see that willpower in action, because Endeavor is thinking, I'm just pushing my body forward with my own firepower. He's just basically blasting his limp body around. It's thanks to the pain that I'm even conscious. You think I'm beat? This eye is giving out, but I can still see victory up ahead. More firepower! More! Beyond! He doesn't quite do plus ultra, though. Good, I don't want plus ultra coming out of his mouth. And he thinks, you freak, you don't want that head of yours getting hurt, huh? Again, Endeavor is very smart. And it's too late to talk about capturing you alive. And he says, gotta go faster. Faster than it can react. Gotta go fast! Fast enough to burn that ugly mug to ash. And it just, like, I guess... It looks like High End is smiling here. Even though he actually has a mouth and he's not, like, smiling. I don't like his eyes. And then we get a shot. When I first read it, I thought Hawks was stealing his kill. Because then it goes, until then, I ain't gonna fall. And we see some feathers hit High End, kind of distracting him. And Hawks says, here we go. And Endeavor, my feathers don't pack enough punch, but they make up for it with speed. I was watching you this whole time. I get it. And we can kind of see that High End's actually... He's fired off a limb, stretched out a limb at Hawks. And we see that bit about to hit his goggles. R.I.P. goggles. What is with Horikoshi and eyes? Like, let people have eyes. What is this, clamp? Stop taking eyes from people.
I thought it looked like Hawks was trying to use his feather as a sword to cut off the head of...
Oh, I think you're right. Maybe?
I guess we don't know what his feathers can do yet, the big ones. We don't completely know all their attack, but I thought he looked like he was trying to cut the head off.
I think you're right. He's gripping something. I think in the previous chapters we have seen him do like long feathers, so he probably has like a really long feather there. And you see him slice at it. Oh yeah.
So then we go on to the last 2 pages, and we have a flashback. Mm-hmm. This is from Hawks's perspective. He's saying there was nobody out there really trying to surpass him. We can see All Might on one side, and then there's a big crevasse in the middle, and a few other people just sort of blacked out staring at his back. And he's looking at this attack coming straight to him, and he's thinking, only you were the only one working to surpass him. And back in his flashback we can see Endeavour right next to the gorge, and he's got a small piece of wood and stone. He's trying his best to get a way across to him, but Hawks is just set.
He needs to read Dr. Stone and learn how to build a bridge.
Then we see Hawks in the background as he is now, and I think maybe that's Little Hawks, that's his younger version next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, nah, it's not going to happen. You can try as much as you want, but you're not going to get there. How awkward can one guy be? I mean, come on. So he's being a douche. He's like, you can try your best, but you're not going to get there, so why bother? I mean, it's awkward. Just judgmental sap. And he's saying, my feathers are already flying your way, and he's thrusting his feathers forwards to propel Endeavour into the Nomu. And as Endeavour's going forwards, Hawks is saying, I'll push you into number 1. And we've got a great shot there of Endeavour's fist just going straight into his face. And we can see his eyes being big, his mouth opening up into these weird rectangular metal-looking teeth, which we haven't seen before.
Exactly. It's this weird, like, shock face. It looks kind of funny, but it's like, creepy as well. He's like, I'm gonna die! And I love, like, I think people have kind of been thinking that Hawks will have this kind of, like, Icarus thing of losing his wings or something, but now we get fire wings! It's like, if your wings catch fire, just use it to beat up the villain.
I wonder if he can grow his fires back, because I'm sure they can't withstand all of that heat that Endeavour's putting out. So if he can't regrow his feathers, he's going to lose them. Or if they grow back very slowly, he's going to be missing a few. But there's quite a lot there, because it looks like they're even giving Endeavour the vision of wings at the top. So it's a lot of feathers that he's pushing forwards.
I think he might have given all of them. Let's go back. Like, he might be. If you look. When he has maybe the feather sword, he has very, very tiny wings. And then in the bottom right corner, he has like almost, you can't really see anything wings. And at that point, he's probably sent them out. So like, and he's about to get hit in the face. So he's going to be falling to the ground most likely. And maybe High End will miss because he goes him in the face, but Hawks falls because he doesn't have his wings. That'd be a funny way. It'd be interesting if he dodged it because of
that. It looks like my Hawks villain theory is wrong, but I'm still holding by it. Because I mean, if he's with the villains and he knows how strong they are,
mm-hmm.
and he's trying to get rid of Endeavour, propelling him towards the enemy is surely the best way.
Yeah. I kind of thought for a sec that was he attacking Endeavour? I was like, what's he doing? But then it's kind of propelling him. But I wonder, is this enough to defeat High End? He's just kind of moving faster, and he's actually, like, landing a really good hit in, I guess. But I don't know if that's enough to beat High End.
If he's going for the brain, because we've seen that he's cut his head off and he's regenerated. So if he's going for the brain, that would be the end all.
Oh! Yeah. Hopefully he'll just, like, torch it. But then, like, I guess they won't be able to find out why. And I guess I don't think Hawks is evil. I just think, like, he's like more self-motivated than he puts on. Like, it does very much seem like he does want Endeavour to be number 1, but it would be interesting if he wants Endeavour to be number 1, because Endeavour, you don't need a really big villain to knock Endeavour down like you did All Might. To take down Endeavour, all you need to do is have, let's say Dabi is a Todoroki, or someone talks to the brother, and he talks about stuff that happened, and just destroy him in the press, saying that he's an abuser and a horrible, like a bad person, a bad father. and have the public turn on him and hate him. Because sure, he likes hated a lot of people here, and he has a really bad past. So I wonder if like they might try a different way of attacking Endeavor, like make sure like okay, now people we have a new number one, and he did this cool thing, but they'll kind of shake the faith in heroes a different way.
Yeah, they could shake the faith in that way. I don't know how they'd find out because it seems to be a well kept secret. But I think Endeavor would still carry on being a hero, wouldn't he? Unless the police arrested him. But to arrest someone else needs to press charges. And I don't know if any of the Todoroki family would press charges against them.
Mm-hmm. If Dabi is a Todoroki, he could, but he's also a villain, and like, would they still trust what he said? Like, I don't know. It's very much like they don't have enough proof to, or like they don't have people to they don't have people to like testify about it.
And if Dabi is a Todoroki, he'd have to tell everyone that. He'd have to tell everyone his identity, which it seems like he really doesn't want to do at the time.
I guess they could kind of do like go to a news station and have like, oh, we have a secret source close to the Todorokis telling us that such and such happened, and then see what Endeavor says, or like see if anyone else comes out agreeing with that.
So the chapter's off next week, but when it comes back, what do you think will happen?
I'm kind of hoping that it'll just might be the aftermaths of this, or just we cut to the students completely. Like this might be, I don't know if we'll cut to like a bloody Hawks or not. I don't know if maybe we'll like kind of do what they did with Ragdoll and the other people and kind of do like, oh, and Best Jeanist kind of being like, oh, they're injured. Like I kind of hope the Endeavor thing's done. Maybe we'll have like one more chapter of him being like, oh, I'm number one in like heart now as well.
I'd like Endeavor to have won, but not be able to be a hero. I think that would be interesting. He'd be like, I've been a hero for so long, what do I do now?
I was kind of wondering, like, would Recovery Girl heal him? Are there other people with healing quirks? Like, is he gonna did he lose? I guess if we look at his eye, he said he was losing vision in it, but on the last page, it looks like it's open, so maybe he can kind of see out of it.
Even with Recovery Girl, there's only so much she can fix. There's only so much she can do.
He'll probably have a matching scar to Todoroki.
But I think it would be interesting to see if Hawks does become number one, what he would do. Because if he isn't a villain, he does have this lazy point of view. If he's number one, he'll surely have to put more work in, and that, if he's being genuine, that's not what he wants.
I wonder if Hawks is okay. Like, is he also going to need some medical attention? Like, did he dodge out of the way, or is he like, it's looking like it's going to hit the middle between his eyes?
I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be able to dodge. Otherwise, he's been brought in very quickly for not really a huge amount to then write him off.
I know Caleb was posting online that the next person in line is going to be Edshot. Because Edshot's number 4, and like Genus is kind of like down for the count for a bit, even though he is number 3. I'm just going to say Caleb's Twitter, just so, because he has a really amazing thread that, like, if you like My Hero Academia, you should be following Caleb. Okay, you can follow Caleb. Yeah. Oh, he's the translator for My Hero Academia for Shonen Jump. His Twitter is at CDCubed, and he does really awesome chapter breakdowns for My Hero Academia, as well as Dr. Stone that he also translates. So definitely follow him and check out his Twitter threads. They're really cool.
Okay, so thank you for listening. So we have been the My Hero Academia podcast. You can find us on Twitter at MHA Pod. And you can also email us at myheropod@gmail.com.
You can follow me on Twitter at Sniper of My Heart.
Yep, and I'm on Twitter at Choppers Antlers.